Hey guys, this is Satchmo and I'm back with another video. So I'm going to be going over the Enhanced Shaman PvP talents. So let's jump right on into it and start with Landslide. Landslide is a rock biter, passive agility increase talent. Okay, so it increases your agility by 8% for 10 seconds, and that's going to increase your DPS, your damage, by a lot, and it's going to help you put out a lot of pressure and get the enemy team on the back foot. So we have Windsong and we also have Hot Hand. Windsong I think is actually pretty good. Uh, so basically Windsong increases your attack speed by 30% for 20 seconds on a 45-second cooldown. So pretty much every 20 seconds your attack speed is going to be increased by 30% for another 20 seconds. So it's pretty good. But as far as I'm concerned, and I've talked to a lot of top enhanced shamans and high rated enhanced shamans, and they say Landslide is by far the best ability. Now, we're a melee class for the most part. We have some ranged abilities, but for the most part, we need to get in close. We need to stick a target. We need to get in there and do that damage. So, Feral Lunge is going to be what you want to take next. You're going to be able to charge. It's basically a warrior charge, and it's every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, you're going to be able to charge that warlock, charge that healer, close the gap between that mage, and get in there and start to do that damage. It works well with a few of the other talents that I'm going to be talking about today, and I'll explain that later. Now, and Windrush Totem is cool. It increases your, if you have a paladin who can use a speed boost sometimes, or pretty much any party member, it'll increase their speed for 5 seconds. But the problem with this is it's on a 2-minute cooldown, so it's not really worth it here. Alright, so moving on to the next one. Lightning Surge Totem. This is pretty much there's no contest. This is the best talent here. I'm not even going to go over the other talents. We have like a root and some other stuff, but Lightning Surge Totem, you drop it. 2 seconds later, it will stun AEO, or Area of Effect, stun CC the other team. So this is great. Lightning Surge Totem is great. It will be able to get you kills, and you can also CC off of it, right? So if you Lightning Surge Totem the other team, they're stunned. They can't really kick you. So your teammates can get off polymorphs. Your teammates can get off CC without getting interrupted. Or it can help you get that kill, so it's great. Next is Ancestral Swiftness. I've also seen shamans take Hailstorm, but in general we take Ancestral Swiftness. Haste is an incredible stat, so this is going to increase your damage by a lot, and in general just help you put out that pressure. In terms of this part of the talent tree, or this level of the talent tree, is definitely the best one for us. Now, this next one, the level 75 talent, it can kind of go either way. It depends on your playstyle, it depends on what you like, it depends on what you're getting wins with. Now, I was playing with Tempest for weeks, for a while, and it was alright. I was winning games, and a few days ago I was talking to a really high rated shaman, and he was like, alright, check out Overcharge. I checked out his talents. He was using Overcharge. I asked him about it, and he said it was definitely the way to go. And this was, repeated by a lot of the other high-rated enhanced shamans. So I was like, all right, let me give this a shot. And it's by far the best. I mean, I like it better than Tempest a lot, because this is what it's going to do. It's going to allow you to finish people off who are kiting you at low health. It's going to allow you to hit somebody hard at range. It's going to allow you to basically do those two things, right? So if you have somebody at low health, they're kiting you, they're trying to get away, you can pop, if you have Earth Spike on them, you're going to get 30% increased damage, and then you're going to hit them with that lightning bolt. It can kill them right there. So it can finish them off. Now this is really useful for me because this happens all the time, and I'm already doing so much damage to begin with. Tempest, the exchange of Tempest for Overcharge, I didn't even notice it in terms of losing damage. I actually gained DPS because the lightning bolts are hitting for millions, or 500,000, a million, whatever. It's hitting for crazy amounts. So next I go with Fury of Air. Okay, you can go with Sundering too if you can find a way to use the mechanic of the knockback or knock to the side in your games. I personally don't like this because in 3s and in 2s, CC is so important, and I'm not really trying to just throw a knock, a knockback all the time or every 40 seconds, but still, I want to be careful. I want my CC to be calculated like the Lightning Surge Totem, but there's ways that this can work out. But for me, I just take Fury of Air since I run a lot of cleave comps with the Ret Pally. Usually, I really love running Enhanced with the Ret Pally. So I pick up Fury of Air, and let me show you what this does really quick. Alright, so I just did a Rock Biter, and it only takes one Rock Biter to get that Fury of Air up, and it has a pretty large range. Because I'm not even close to I'm just going to backpedal. I'm going to pull it up again really quick just to see how far of a range it got. So it's got a pretty big range, and you'll be able to get that AEO damage out because a lot of the time these melee cleaves teams will just be brawling it out. You know, face to face, doing a lot of damage, trying to get the other team on the back foot, and you can really benefit from this area of effect talent. So this is going to increase your damage by quite a bit if you keep it up, and it's really easy to keep it up. So those are the two best talents for level 90. Now, the 100 talents are Ascendance, Boulder Fist, Earthen Spike. You can play with any and all of them. You know, it depends on which style that you like to play. It depends on which works well for you. So what I found that works well for me is in 2s, when I play double DPS and I'm trying to burst, I go with Ascendance. It's a huge damage cooldown. You can instant cast Storm Strike. The cooldown on Storm Strike is reduced. So it's fantastic. I really like this ability. Now, but the thing is, it's a 3-minute cooldown. And a lot of games, depending on the games that you're playing, you may only get off this once, maybe twice, if it's a really long game. So, in my experience, especially for 3s and higher rated 3s, it's just not viable. So, what you can do, and what most shamans do, and which works really well, is the Earthen Spike. This is up every 20 seconds, and it will increase the damage by 30% for 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds you're doing 30% more physical and nature damage, so pretty much all damage by 30%. And this ability, I think, okay, so one Rock Biter and you have enough Maelstrom. Hits for 700k, and then if you want, you can cast a Lightning Bolt after that, and that's a great little combo. So I really like that combination best for 3s. It really can keep up that consistent damage, and you'll be getting the wins like really easily. So let's move on over to Honor Talents. This is a little bit more customizable, so there's a little bit of, leeway in terms of what you can pick and what works well for you. Well, you know what I should say? It's a little bit more situational. Not like there's more leeway. I mean, there is, if you want to put it that way, but there's more situational based talents. Because before an arena match, you can switch your talents so after you see what you're facing. So this is what I'm going to talk about. I go for the trinket, and I don't go for like the instant cast, the trinket thing, all that nonsense. I have my trinket. It's the regular trinket. I can hold it. I can use it when I want to. Okay, so next, here's what I have to say about this. You have a caster DPS talent, and you have a physical DPS talent in terms of If you're facing a team that's a melee cleave, you have sparring. Okay, that's going to reduce your damage by a bit, help your healer out. Now, if you're facing a caster-based team, reinforced armor is nice. So, depending on what you're queuing into, I would play with these. Hardiness it's cool, but I think it's best if you have a high rating and you're facing lower rated teams and you're always going to be at, topped off. Because if you're not, I don't know. You can test out hardiness, but like I said, casters, reinforced armor, melee, sparring, and let me know how that works out for you. So, the next talent I'm taking is Sky Fury Totem. So this is a talent that I add to my DPS macro, or damage macro, my blow up Swifty macro. It's a 40-second cooldown. It will increase crit of damage, physical damage, caster damage, healing spells, everything within 40 yards for 20 seconds. I mean, by 20% for 15 seconds with a 40-second cooldown. So almost every 20 seconds you get plus 20% crit for the whole team. That's nice. And then there's one, the Wind Fury Totem here, that's a little bit different. It's kind of like I don't know, it kind of just boosts your attack. So you'll get like an extra attack or 3 extra attacks, and you just put this down, and it's alright, but I think the Sky Fury is best for me, and it's best for a lot of the other shamans. Now, here we have the Ghost Wolf and the Ethereal Form. I'm playing around with this a lot, because sometimes if there's a team that's not as good, or if I'm playing a lower rated team or a more inexperienced team, I guess I can't even really say that. It's just weird. It's really weird because, okay, so in Spectral Recovery, you're gonna get Ghost Wolf buffs. So while in Ghost Wolf, you heal for 3 seconds every 2 seconds. And also, it increases the movement speed of Ghost Wolf by an additional 10%. So, this can be good if you're trying to close the gap, if you're trying to help, stick targets, if you need something to help you stick targets, and you're in Ghost Wolf form a lot. But really, I'm not in Ghost Wolf form very much. I'm in Ghost Wolf form the most when I'm kiting, when I'm trying to survive, when I'm trying to LOS, but a lot of the time that's not happening. So, I mean, every once in a while it's happening, but it's not like I'm always needing that speed increase, because for the most part, I'm always on the target. It's easy because of this next ability I'm going to talk about. But Ethereal Form is really nice versus hard, if you're facing hard comps or higher rated comps, especially Destro, Warlocks, classes that will one-shot you and it's coming. Now, Ethereal is kind of like a bubble, a paladin bubble, except with some limitations. The limitations you're going to have is you're not going to be able to cast, you're not going to be able to attack, and your movement speed is reduced. So you're pretty much just sitting there, and that's that. It takes the place of your astral shift, and it's a 45-second cooldown. Now here's why I like it a lot, because if you're being trained, like, you can completely bubble for the most part, and you're not gonna die for 15 seconds. However, I forgot to mention that this only makes you immune to physical damage. Okay, so actually this is the kicker, and I didn't quite think about this when I was talking about Spectral Recovery earlier, but now I remember. Spectral Recovery is great versus casters, and Ethereal Form is what I use versus melee, because Ethereal Form is pointless versus a caster cleave. completely pointless, because you're gonna lose astral shift. You're gonna take all that caster damage. You can't. It doesn't do jack. Okay, now, but if you're facing a melee, take it for sure. If you're facing a caster, take the Ghost Wolf. Help you LOS the casters. It'll help you get your health back up, and it will increases your movement speed. So it'll help you LOS, and it'll help you stick the target better. Now we have Static Cling. This is going to be great with Spectral Recovery and great with Feral Lunge. Feral Lunge helps you stick the target. Spectral Recovery with the extra speed helps you stick your target. And Static Cling helps you stick your target. Okay? Now, after you use Storm Strike twice in a row on an enemy, and you're going to get Storm Strike procs all the time. There is pretty much never a time where you'll be attacking and connecting with somebody where you're not going to get double Storm Strike. Okay? So this will proc every time for the most part. But a coil of lightning binds you to the target, increasing the damage the target receives from your attacks by 15% and increasing your movement speed by 15% while the cling holds. So if it moves, the target moves over more than 15 yards away from you, the link will break. You know, and then you have some cleave talents here. You can check them out. Pretty much it's just a lightning, like a chain lightning type of effect for these other two talents. But if you're playing Enhance, this is great because it will help you stick your target. And then if this stacks with Earth Spike, think about it. Earth Spike is plus 30% damage. This is plus 15% damage. You're almost at plus 50% damage from those two abilities, and while you're on your target, and this happens pretty much every time. So I mean, I think Static Cling is the best one here. Now the last one, there's not even a discussion about it. It's Shamanism. It allows you to use Bloodlust every 60 seconds. You and a target party member, increases your haste by 20%. So I mean, haste is an enhancement shaman's bread and butter. You'll be able to use this multiple times in a match sometimes, and it will definitely give you that win condition very often. So I would choose Bloodlust, this Shamanism. I'm not even really going to go over these other ones because they're not as good. I mean, you can't beat Bloodlust when you're a shaman. However, the Thunder Charge is interesting. It has an interesting mechanic, but you'll have to see if it works out for you. So that's the Enhanced Shaman talents and Honor talents for PvP. Now, let me show you really quickly something with Overcharge. Now, you get a Rock Biter, and that first Rock Biter, you're going to be able to hit them with a Earth Spike. And then after that, you have 30% damage increase, so you can hit them with a Overcharge Lightning Bolt, and that's going to usually do a lot of damage. It's weird on these dummies. I don't know why, but Lightning Bolt, the Overcharge Lightning Bolt always acts kind of weird. Oh, well, there you go. So anyways, those are the talents. You can do a crazy amount of damage as Enhanced Shaman. I've never had any type of class that I couldn't just destroy. And I'm still learning how to use key bindings and macros in the Arena 1, 2, 3 and all this stuff better. But even if you're relatively new to Enhanced Shaman and just starting to be able to set yourself up to push higher ratings, you know, over 2K, 2.2K, what have you, this is the way to go. So let me know if you like this video. Let me know what talents you're running, if it's something different. And peace out, guys. Have a wonderful day.